This is Tom Fox. I'd like to welcome you to the newest addition to the Compliance Podcast Network, the Compliance Tip of the Day. This is the podcast where you bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. Join us as we explore the latest trends from the Department of Justice, share some best practices, demystify complex compliance issues to help keep your organization doing business ethically and in compliance, and at the end of the day, more profitably. Tune in daily for your dose of compliance wisdom. Let's make compliance a little less daunting, one tip at a time. Now a word from the sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, Ethico.
In compliance, the value of anonymous reporting is undeniable. But with Ethico, anonymity doesn't mean a loss of connection. Our blinded, two-way communication fosters an environment of trust and confidentiality, encouraging open and honest dialogue. It's not just about receiving reports. It's about understanding the story behind each one, creating a culture of integrity and respect. Transform your approach to anonymous reporting with Ethico. Begin your journey at ethico.com/CPN, where you can book a demo, access an exclusive white paper by Tom Fox titled The ROI of Compliance, and utilize our free ROI calculator.
In today's compliance tip of the day, we take up the tricky issue of internal reporting and whistleblowers during layoffs. Employment separations can be one of the trickiest maneuvers to manage in the spectrum of the employment relationship. Even when an employee is aware of layoffs are coming, it still can be quite a shock when HR shows up at your door and says, "Please come with me." However, layoffs can present unique challenges for the compliance professional. Employees can use layoffs to claim they were retaliated against for a wide variety of complaints, including those concerns that impact the compliance professional. But there are certain things you can do. Number one, treat your employees with as much respect and dignity as is possible. This attitude can go a long way towards keeping someone from filing a claim for retaliation. This means listening to them and not showing them the door as quickly as possible with an escort. It means that you will need to have a conversation and ask the soon-to-be parting employee if they're aware of any compliance violations. Finally, our issues around whistleblowers and retaliation. The starting point for the layoff should be your company plan going forward, but you as the compliance professional need to be aware of any employees on the layoff list who may be have filed whistleblower complaints. Retaliation cases can turn on whether the actions taken by the company were in retaliation for a whistleblower report. So if such persons have reported an FCPA, code of conduct, or other ethical violations, you need to move to triage, investigate, if appropriate, the allegations sooner rather than later. This means you may need to move up research of an allegation to come more quickly than others ahead of it, or put some resources in place to try to conclude the matter as soon as possible. This obviously means triage and investigation going forward. But if you do these actions, I think you'll be in pretty good shape going forward. So this is obviously, once again, a tricky situation. Emotions are typically high when someone's laid off. So you have to train to do this, work with your HR professionals. You may give them the list of questions you need, asks, or you may want to sit in if it's a significant person or a whistleblower. But it can be a fruitful exercise. As you know, this month's sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, including this podcast, is Ethico. Have you ever wondered about the ROI of your compliance program or had concerns with presenting budget proposals to your CFO? Well, I partnered with Ethico to write a white paper on the ROI of compliance and how you can think through compliance as an investment strategy. Ethico has put together a ROI calculator for you. Check them out on the website. This is Tom Fox again. This new podcast, Compliance Tip of the Day, will appear daily. And frankly, it's one of the most requested topics for a podcast that I get on a regular basis. It's going to be short and sweet with one tip with some takeaways that you can utilize to implement into your compliance program. If you've got a question that you would like a tip on, please submit them through our website, and we will use them in an upcoming episode. The Compliance Tip of the Day is a production of the award-winning Compliance Podcast Network.